Hey guys, Coach Sal here with CrossFit Nanaimo. Today I'm going to show you part 2 of our myofascial release series, and this one you can do at home. All you need is 2 pieces of equipment, so foam roller, lacrosse ball, preferably not a tennis ball as they are a little bit too squishy. Okay, so our target today is going to be kind of opening up our upper back. So scapula is going to be the theme today. We want to think about the pressing series that we're building on. So last week we talked about getting good overhead mobility and loosening up our chest. This week we're going to talk about freeing up some range of motion in our back to allow for a stronger pressing and receiving position. So number 1, we're going to start mid-back, so basically across our shoulder blades. I am going to lie on my foam roller and I'm going to use any kind of heavy-ish object. For most people, I would say if you use a gym bag, this would actually work really well. Okay, so I'm going to lay mid-back on my roller, and from here I'm actually going to rest my butt on the floor, so I don't want to lift my hips to begin. I'm going to press the ball up, hands are going to stay on the bottom, palms are going to be facing up just like we would have them on a barbell, and then I'm going to allow the ball to come to the floor. Now try not to open up the rib cage too much. Okay, so we want to stay relatively flat. Head will be in a pressing position, so I don't want to allow my head to fall back. That's not where we press. Head stays neutral. Okay, now from here, I'm going to do my best to just relax and slowly start to roll the back. Okay, so there's going to be a bunch of different areas that are sore and tight, and I'm going to slightly lift my bum and use my heels to press myself back and forth. Okay, so I'm going to spend exactly 2 minutes working through that, and then the fun bit about this is it flows. So from that, I'm going to switch right into my lats. So I'm going to bring my hand behind my head. I'm going to roll onto my side. Okay, so the foam roller is going to start mid-lat, and then all I'm going to do here is slowly roll up and down and side to side. So this is a critical part. We want to make sure that we actually cover, or that we hit all areas. Most people make the mistake of only going up and down. We want to try and hit as much tissue as we can. So I'm going to spend another 2 minutes here. It's fairly uncomfortable and yet highly effective. Okay? So my last one, I'm going to ditch my foam roller. I'm going to take my lacrosse ball, and I want to put it, I'll try to show you as best as I can. I want to put it right outside, or on the inside of my shoulder blade rather. And now when I lay down, I'm going to take this arm and reach across my body. So this is really important. We're basically opening up the back so we can cover all of those tissues. Okay, so right now this is when the fun begins. I'm going to start to lift my elbow up, which is relatively uncomfortable. So I might do 5 pumps like so. And then I'm going to move. So I'm going to move that lacrosse ball up and down the edge of that shoulder blade and continue to lift my elbow up and down like so for 2 minutes. If I want to get down to the nitty-gritty, I'm then going to open up my arm, and I'm going to go from basically this position here, and I'm going to start to bring the arm along the floor up into an overhead position. Okay, so I'd slide it along the floor and then up overhead. So I would repeat that for another 2 minutes. So this is a great routine to go through in the evening if your upper back is tight, or before class if we're going overhead. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's edition of Mobility Monday. Stay tuned for next week, part 3, which is going to be, just stay tuned for part 3.